Alright, I want to read this book called Binge Drinking. That's not actually the title John Flavel had in mind. The reason I want to read this is very simple. I've looked online for information on the subject and I found a sermon by Whitfield, but it didn't really explain in detail why drunkenness is sin, and I've just been interested in finding ways of discussing the issue with people who embrace drunkenness. And unfortunately, I can tell you, in my own life, I spent a few years resisting people who enjoyed drunkenness, and the reality is, in private, I would end up doing it myself. And so it's not just that I want to help other people who are lost and living in sin, but I myself do have a desire at times to exceed the limits that God has placed for us. But instead of explaining why I think it's wrong, I'm just going to let John Flavel do it, because he is incredibly better than anything. He's done something better than I could do. And so I'll just start by reading this. I'll skip the first page that talks about how wonderful Puritans are. Let's see. Okay, binge drinking. In the former treatise, let's see. I'll just read it like this. Alright, in the former treatise, I have endeavored to spiritualize earthly objects and elevate your thoughts to more sublime and excellent contemplations, that earthly things may rather be a step than a stop to heavenly. You have therein my best advice to guide you in your course to that port of your eternal rest and happiness. In this I have given warning of some dangerous rocks and quicksands that lie upon your left hand, upon which millions of souls have perished, and others are willfully running to their own perdition. Such are the horrid sins of drunkenness, uncleanness, profane swearing, violation of promises, engagements made to God, and atheistical slightings and contempt of death and eternity. All which I have here given warning of, and held forth a light to discover where your danger is. If after this you obstinately prosecute your lusts, and will not be reclaimed, you perish without apology. I have freed mine own soul. Let none interpret this necessary plainness as a reproach to seamen, as this book was written for seamen, or this section, because historically you probably know that people say stuff like, you cuss like a sailor. I think that's why he's writing this, because those people, I guess like seamen are like modern people, because, back then they leave the society and no accountability, and today we're always moving around. Anyways, back to the book. Represent them to the world worse than they are, if upon let's see. I'll just